Hi, I'm here today giving you a little bit of information about our excursion in Cozumel. We went to Dolphinaris to have an experience with dolphins. We had to do a little bit of research between Dolphinaris and Chacanab. So if you have been interested and thinking about an excursion in Cozumel, and this is something that you've been looking into, hopefully I can give some information, the good, the bad, and the ugly, on what we experienced when we went to Cozumel. Stay tuned and I will give you a few tips. Hi, my name is Shannon and I am here today to give you a little bit of information about our experience at Dolphinaris in Cozumel. So we had a tough decision to make right at the beginning, Dolphinaris or Chacanab. And I had watched a lot of YouTube videos trying to figure out which one would be best. So one of the things that I found out right away was a lot of people had complained that when they were at Chacanab, they had an all-inclusive package with food and drink. However, they had to wait for their drink at a different location than where the food was. And a lot of people had said that the food, there was long lines. And then one of the things that I noticed from just doing a little YouTube video search on Dolphinaris is that they had an incredible view at lunch. So that's what we decided to do. We decided to go with Dolphinaris. There wasn't a huge difference in price between one or the other. So we just made that decision right away about Dolphinaris. The second decision that we had to make was the difference between a VIP experience or a VIP swim. And so we were able to make that decision to get the swim. Now it cost a little bit extra, and there were a lot of us that were going. We had 6 adults all trying to make this decision, and most of us probably figured that this was the only time we were going to be able to do this. So we decided to do the swim and spend the extra money. So I think it was about a $60 difference between the two experiences. We were able to get pictures taken, which I'll tell you more about the photos towards the end of this video. That is really important detail information. So I did get some information when I was doing some research that they were not going to let us bring our phones or our cameras, and that we would have to purchase their photos. So we received our tickets in an envelope in our room the night before the excursion. And in the envelope, it said that there was a meeting point on the ship at the theater. So that's what we did. This was through Royal Caribbean. We were on Mariner of the Seas and out of Galveston. And we went to the theater the next morning, and we left as a group. They split us off into smaller groups depending on our excursions. And then they took us across through the port, and we went over the highway or over the road. It was very, very nice, and into like a shopping plaza. It was a 2-story shopping mall. And so we walked through there, followed the guide, and they got us over to Dolphinaris. I believe we took like vans, cabs, went over to Dolphinaris. All of that was included in our excursion. So when we got there, they had us go aside and they gave us some instructions what to expect. They told us we could get lockers. We didn't need to get lockers, but we could get lockers. They also told us a little bit about what to expect with the dolphins, and that we would have the experience with the dolphin, and then we would go upstairs for lunch, and that lunch was also included. So during that experience of them going through the instructions, they made a really big deal about they needed to know if anyone was pregnant. And they said that dolphins can kind of tell that women are pregnant. And so he made a really big deal that if you are pregnant, please don't keep it a secret. They needed to know, and I don't know what they would have done different, but they just made a really big deal that they needed to know if somebody was pregnant. So I found that very curious. I did do a little research and read that they believe that dolphins can hear the heartbeat of the unborn child. So I thought that was interesting. So we went through all the instructions, and of course they said we could not take our own pictures, we could not take our own videos, and that we would have an opportunity to purchase them at lunch. So that's kind of where that was left. We decided to get a locker because there were 6 of us. We put all of our things in one locker. There was a big container when we walked over. So there are different sections with like a dolphin in each section. And so we were over to the side. There was a large container where you could put a purse or a backpack or, your possessions in there while you were having the dolphin experience. But we had used the locker, so that's what we did. We had to wear a safety vest, and then later they gave us kind of like some goggles when we did something else. I'm trying to remember what we did that we needed that. But anyway, we were able to get all that together before we went in, and then we stood there with our group. So we did have another family with us who had small children, and the dolphin handler was super sweet. There was a little girl that just was, I don't know if she was scared or just uncomfortable. She didn't want to get real close to the dolphin. So the handler did a great job with her. So they told us that our experience would be about 40 minutes. I was really surprised. They really took their time with all of us. And I think we were with the dolphin more than 40 minutes. It seemed like a good amount of time. So she had the dolphin do different things with every single person. We had pictures with the dolphin kissing us. We got to pet the dolphin. We got to put our hands underneath the dolphin and feel its heartbeat. We were able to do all these different photo ops, where you're waving and the dolphin would move her fins. And then we did have the chance to swim with the dolphin. So we swam out, and then the dolphin came around. We just put our hand on the fin, and then the dolphin would drag us and we would swim across. So I did see something recently that Cozumel just changed that rule, and I don't think anyone can touch the fins anymore. So that may have changed with this excursion. But even if we would not have swam with the dolphin, it was still a really good experience, and that was a very small part of the time that we were there. We were there a good amount of time, spending time with the dolphin. The dolphin's handler told us many, many different things about dolphins, and it was just a really great experience. We had a great time. After that, then we were able to go to lunch. Besides seeing the dolphin, the most incredible part of this excursion for me was where we had lunch. We had this amazing view. It was just breathtaking. So if you're like me, and if I'm going to the Caribbean, I love the beauty of the water, the blues, just everything. And we had perfect weather. We had a perfect day. So it was wonderful. And lunch, which was included, drinks and lunch were included. We had options like salad, quesadilla, burgers, which I don't think any of us got burgers, nachos, fajitas, even like a fish fillet. So I had the nachos, and actually I think someone else got the quesadillas, and we just shared because we wanted both. So we had an amazing meal. I had read and seen in some cases where people had said they didn't enjoy the food, but I loved it. It was nice having a variety, because the other excursion we went on in Costa Maya, everybody got the same exact thing. There was no options. So I loved having the options. So we also could have drinks. And so there were non-alcoholic options, I think Coke products. We also, I think they had like frozen pina coladas. I may have had a Bahama Mama. I think that's what I had, or a Mai Tai or something like that. And a couple of the guys had beers. So there were lots of options. They had a full bar, and I think anything you wanted was included in the cost. So all of that was great until they came around to talk about the photos. So I had watched a video and saw this young couple get sticker shock from how expensive the photos were for the dolphin experience at Dolphinaris. And so I kind of expected it to be expensive. That wasn't surprising to me. However, I still got sticker shock because there were 6 of us and we had a group picture with the dolphin. And my thought was, I'll just get that one picture with all of us in it, probably spend $30 on one picture, fine by me, right? No, the prices were for how many people were in the picture. So, and I'm gonna look and I'm gonna throw them up here so I get this right. The price, and my sticker shock was real. The price was per person in the photo. So if you had one person in the photo, it was $79 for those photos. If there were 2 people in the photos, it was $159. 3 people in the photo, $219. 4 people in the photos, $269. 5 people in the photos, $319. And 6 people in the photos, $359. So of course we would split that between the 3 couples, but that still was over $100 a piece. That was not what I had expected. So, well, we're in Mexico, so let's barter. So I just started saying that's a little pricey. And one couple that we were with, they were out. They were like, we're out, $359 for some photos. No, thank you. So I bartered and was able to negotiate a better price. I'm sure they love that I say that on here, but we did get a better price that we were a little more comfortable with. It was still more than I had wanted to spend, but less than the $359. So I was pretty happy about that. So I'm going to show you, and I've already probably had other photos in here, but just to let you see all the different kinds of photos, so many photos that they sent over to us. So they had one photographer that was dedicated to us and our dolphin experience. So each area that had a dolphin had its own photographer. So we had some amazing photos. We were very happy with them. I still think they were pricey, but again, we're probably only going to do this one time. Might as well get the pictures, right? So that's what my thought was. So again, that's the good, the bad, the ugly truth about the photos. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Hopefully this helps you make a decision about doing an excursion in Cozumel. If you are interested or thinking about doing the dolphin experience, that's the information that I have. I don't know personally about Chocanab, just from some things that I had heard. So I would like to try Chocanab at one point. They do have some other experiences as well that I would be interested in. But, it was definitely the view at lunch was a big selling point for me. And then also, it was so easy to get a cab back. Again, that was all included. And then we were able to go and shop around that mall at the port and take some pictures and get a picture by the Cozumel sign and then get back to the ship on time. So we had a great experience. Hopefully this helped you with making your decision, and have a wonderful time at your next cruise. Thanks, and if this was interesting for you, please like and subscribe. My name is Shannon, and I'm in my cruise era.